Hey guys. So, you just can't say it any better. You really can't. And this lovely woman says, for in fact, I'm even going to give her a follow. Because she says it perfectly and beautifully. Like, give it a listen.
Think she was signed female at birth, biological woman. I'm a trans woman, but I'm a real woman as well.
How do you work that one out? Like, where does the math add up in that? Biological at birth makes you a real woman. Trans woman, a real woman, no, doesn't make you a real woman in the slightest. Makes you a trans woman. Or as I like to put it with people like elphaba, not everyone, just elphaba, people that lie, manipulate and scam, fake woman. And I don't care if I get called transphobic. Like I've said, that word has lost all meaning.
As much as you.
We're
Makes me a real woman as much as you.
going to discuss this.
You there?
But that makes you a signed female at birth, biological woman. I'm a trans woman, but I'm a real woman as well. As much as you.
How do you work that one out? How does he work? How can he work that one out? How are you a real woman just as an actual real woman? Can you have kids? Like, can you give birth? Can you carry and nurture a child? Could you feed a child? No. So how you a real woman as much as an actual real woman? Because you're not. What a stupid thing to say.
We are going to discuss this one more time with this person. So, first and foremost, I will never tell anybody in the trans community how to transition, when to transition, how long it should take, so on and so forth, because I have no experience with that.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't say that to someone that's real. That's really a trans person. Someone that actually deserves the respect of people using their proper pronouns. Someone that has actually worked hard for it. Who's actually going to do it. Not someone like elphaba, who seems to have manipulated thousands of people into thinking he is. When he's openly said, it has come out of his own mouth that he's not, because it's too dangerous to transition. And that's what he said. And yet people still believe him. The trans community has shunned elphaba. He's not even invited to the marches or any protests. Like the Preston Pride March. Multiple trans people said if elphaba turns up, he's getting his arse kicked. That should tell you something. But yet people still defend him. But it's funny because it's these people that are defending him won't support him. Why don't you people that defend him, why don't you pay for his transitioning? So-called transitioning. When in reality all you're going to be doing is paying for his way of life. Like his habits, his bad habits that he's got with the snow.
However, the problem I have with this is this person can't call them a creator because they don't create nothing but problems.
None of them are content creators. They're live streamers. They're live beggars. That's what they are. Begging for supporters.
This person 2 or 3 years ago started TikTok because they had body dysmorphia. They wanted to transition.
I didn't know that's what he came out with at first. Body dysmorphia. Because he hasn't. Yeah, he's got a skin condition, but not body dysphoria. In his skin condition that he's got can be chalked down because he doesn't bathe. People that have been around him has openly stated he stinks. Like he hadn't had a bath ever. Kind of stinks. When he went clubbing in Glasgow, people came out, the people he was with, because he uploaded some pictures to Instagram. One and two of them have come out and said he stinks. So you know, you don't get a wash, you don't bathe. You're gonna have bad skin and random weird diseases that he comes out with, or that he gets, because he doesn't bathe. Obviously.
to get donations to help them feel more feminine and look more feminine. Now, they have raised a good bit of money, but apparently, when the money kept coming in, all of a sudden their body dysmorphia magically went away, and they're fine. They're absolutely fine. This is what irks the shit out of me, is I know plenty of trans women on here who are fully trying to transition. They are trying to save up the money for facial surgery, for bottom surgery, to get wigs, to get clothes, to transition, to get hormones, to transition. They're trying their best to do this and get money. And here you are getting bukus of it, and you haven't done one thing to transition except get on here and demean women and attack women when they're calling out your bullshit.
It's exactly what he does. Exactly what he does. And he'll call it that. This is the reason why the word transphobic doesn't mean anything anymore. Nobody cares if they get called transphobic or if they're being transphobic, because he throws the word around. You could turn around at elphaba and say, I don't like the way you look today. The dress that you've got on doesn't look good on you today. You need to change it. He'll call you transphobic. Anything. You say you don't like the way his makeup is, or the way he's done his hair, or even if you didn't like the colour of his socks. Anything negative you say to elphaba, he'll call you transphobic for it. Hence the reason why it doesn't mean anything. Like, nobody cares if they get called trans. I know I don't, and I know a few of you feel the same way. It's like, yes, it used to mean something. You know? You used to turn around to someone and call them transphobic. They'd go, no, I'm not, sorry, no, I'm not. I apologise if I've offended you. But now, people don't care. Because of the likes of elphaba.
You don't have trans women on here who are still dressing in manly clothes or even in women's clothes while their genitals are freely swinging back and forth for
Yeah, I didn't need that image in my head this early in the morning. You know, parts of my brain is still asleep. I really didn't need that image.
everybody on TikTok to see, because you sure as hell don't try to hide it. There are videos of you outside in public where you don't look like you do now, or where you purposely dress up because you're filming yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly what he does. Or when he goes out for a night out, I've seen them. There's horrendous pictures of him where he looks like a bloke. Like, he's not short like me. He's just tall. He's quite tall. But yeah, he looks like a bloke. Even though he's dressed in some women clothes, he looks like a bloke. Looks like he's just like a punk rocker. Literally, a bloke with long hair. That's what he looks like. Looks like his dad. His dad's got long hair. That's exactly what he looks like.
Dress like you are a heterosexual male. You have put yourself into communities you didn't belong in and try to claim them. Like you tried to claim that you had IBS, that you had autism, that you had alopecia, that you have
I didn't know he did that. That he claimed he had alopecia. That's disgusting, that. I know people with alopecia and it's not nice. Maybe somebody should show him what you do when you say you've got things like that. You know, go over and rip his hair out. That's disgusting. I know how people struggle that have alopecia. You know, through the day-to-day life. Having to wear a wig and not wear a wig. Go out looking bald. I know some people are self-conscious about it. Excuse me. Even though women with alopecia, you know, you do look cute. You're beautiful. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise.
Tourette's, that you have tics. You have inserted yourself into fundraisers that you had nothing to do with running and came on here claiming that this was all you. You had a big part of it.
Like the Preston Pride. It says that he was doing a performance, that he was invited, that they knew about the trolls and to ignore them and that they didn't care. That they still wanted him there to do a performance, to sing Defying Gravity. God. I could go the rest of my life without hearing that song. Honestly.
You have demanded people to give you money and gifts or you weren't talking on your lives, and I blame your followers for feeding into your ego.
It's exactly what I said. I mean, yeah, they'll constantly beg for supporters, but it's the people that are actually supporting and sticking up for him. They're the problem. Because they need to stop feeding the ego. Really is ridiculous. These supporters that are defending them, they're the ones that have created them. Because it's feeding them. Somebody says to them, oh, you're successful, you're famous. They're going to believe it. Even if one person thinks they're famous. They're going to actually feed off that. Be like, yeah, one person said I'm famous, so I must be. Let's run with it. It's pathetic.
I don't ever want to question anybody who's transitioning and be like, well, are they really trans? But you, I can't fully believe it. I believe it is nothing more than you inserting yourself into another community to
exactly what it
claim
is.
to gain money and attention. Because let's look at it. Let's strip you from the trans community, from every other community you put yourself in, the autism community.
See, when you think about it, she makes sense because he tries to see that he's Tourette's and autism and all this other stuff. To be in that community, for people to feel sorry for him. That's what it's all about, sympathy. Because sympathy turns into supporters, into gifts, into money. It's what it's all about, money. But obviously, with autism and Tourette's and things like that, people will start questioning it. You know, they'll be demanding proof, and it's something you can prove. But being transgender, it's a touchy subject. People don't like talking about it. So it's like, how do we ask for proof? You know, when you're going to transition, are you transition yet? But it's still a touchy subject. You know what I mean? So it like backs people away. So that's what he's thought of. It's like, yeah, I'll run with a transgender thing. You know, people are falling for it. But you know, now, like I've said, being called transphobic, people don't care anymore. So obviously they're not going to feel awkward by asking him when he's going to transition. It's no longer a touchy subject. Because people want to know, because he's been donated literally thousands of pounds. Literally thousands. So people want to know when he's going to do it. You know, when he's going to put that money to good use. But of course, he's blown it all on alcohol and snow. And that's not a joke. I'm not just saying that, you know. He actually has. There's videos out there of him and his ma doing snow on live. They thought they were off camera, but no, you knew what they were doing because you could hear it as well.
Tourette's community. Strip yourself of all that. Who are you? Nobody would pay attention to you.
Is that?
Nobody would pay attention to you.
Exactly
So
right.
you have to claim all this stuff and pretend all this shit because you refuse to work. So there's no other way for you to get money except for begging on here.
That's exactly what it is. They don't want to go out and work like to a 9 to 5. They couldn't handle it. I've said it all this time. Begging on TikTok is the easiest way for them to get money. Supporters. So that's the reason why they do it. Because it's easy. It's like me doing these videos. Yeah, I get paid. I don't get paid much, but I get paid for it. But even if I was earning thousands through ad revenue doing these videos, I'd come off sick because I won't need it anymore because I'm able to support myself through the video. But I wouldn't call it a full-time job like these idiots do, saying TikTok's a job. No. Of course I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm paying taxes. I'm paying taxes to America because it's an American company. I still wouldn't claim it's a job. Because it's not. It's a hobby. It's a hobby I enjoy doing. The moment I go from saying it's a hobby to a job, that'll be when I'm getting sick of it. Because that's what people mean when they say job. No, I've got to go to work. I've got to do my job. They get sick of it. So I would never say it, that it's a job. Because it's not. It really isn't. Because it's not difficult.
You have been caught in multiple lies. And I'm sorry, you had the opportunity to transition, and then you refused.
He's had multiple chances to transition. Multiple. Evil Queen even set it up for him to get the hormones. But he didn't get them. He's had multiple chances. But no. Because transitioning is a permanent thing. When you think about it. No, there's no coming back from it. You go for the surgery, you start taking hormones, it's permanent. You know? There's people out there that have actually changed their mind after surgery and trying to sue the NHS. Which is pathetic. Because they changed their mind. They regret the decision. And that's not... elphaba doesn't want to do that. Because he's not really transgender. Eventually, it'll all come out. Like the truth. He'll turn around. He won't directly come out and say, no, I'm not really transgender, I fooled you all. But he'll change his mind. You know what I mean? It's actually happened a few times, where he's been thinking about going back to being a man. Going back, even though he still is. But still changing his mind. But eventually that's what'll happen. He'll cut his hair, he'll change his mind, he'll say, right, I'm no longer transgender. He'll blame the trolls and the haters on it. He'll get a girlfriend, he'll get her pregnant, and then that's when you'll start seeing him disappear. But again, it's another person that will be trolled for the rest of their lives. He'll get spotted in the street or in the shopping centre or whatever, and that'll be when he'll get trolled.
Continue dressing like a heterosexual male while on many of your videos your genitals are just swinging freely.
Oh God.
While
Another thing I didn't want in my head, I don't need these images, Come on, there's 2 of us here. Well, there's hundreds of us here watching this video. We don't need that image in our heads.
attacking women, that's what you do, is you demean women and you attack women, but claim to be a real woman.
I mean, she said it perfectly. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Honestly, well said. Well put. Stephanie, well said. Everything she says is true. And like I said, eventually, I mean, he's only 21 now. So you're talking years from now. Probably when he's at his last final straw of people believing him. You know, when he's really fallen off. That'll be when it'll come out that he's changed his mind and he's no longer transitioning. He's no longer a woman. Even though he's not. But it'll happen eventually. And that's when people will come out and say, I told you so. That's the whole point of me doing these videos. Awareness. You know? People see these videos and, you know, and they'll change their mind from supporting him and all this other stuff. Hopefully. Or it'll just spread awareness to stay away from people like elphaba. But the thing is, I'm just spreading awareness about elphaba in this video. Not all transgender are like elphaba. Understand that. There are genuine people out there. It's just picking the right one. Because there will be others like elphaba. Doing it for the clout, the views, the money. It's just, you know. So I suppose the awareness would be just be careful. Be careful who you send your money to. Question everything. And I mean everything. Anyway, I'm going to go. I've got more to do. I'll catch you in the next one.